The following broadcast is brought to you by Accelerate Church. Accelerate Church is located in Amarillo, Texas at 4400 South Crockett Street. If you're in the area and would like to stop by for a service, we would love to have you. Our service times are Sundays at 10 a.m. and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. If you'd like a copy of this message for a loved one or for yourself, please give us a call so we can get a copy in your hand. Our phone number is 806-418-8913. We also invite you to download our app. Our Accelerate Church app is available on your Apple or Android device. You can listen to previous sermons preached by Pastor Jeremy, as well as watch live streaming at the touch of a button. For more information about our ministry, log on to acceleratechurch.cc.
Welcome to the Accelerate Church radio broadcast. My name's Jeremy Fowle. I'm the pastor at Accelerate Church, and we want you. We've got service coming up Sunday, 10 a.m. Central, and every Wednesday our midweek service is at 7 p.m. Central Time. If you can't be with us in person, then you ought to stream us live at acceleratechurch.cc. I'm in the studio, and I have my friend Dr. Lee A. Simpson with me again today. Good day, sir.
Good day.
Thanks for coming down and being at the studio with me again.
Well, it's a pleasure being here.
And thank you for pastoring and being uncompromised in that for all these years at Faith Clinic Christian Center right here in Amarillo. You have a website. Tell everyone about it before we get started today.
It is faithclinicministries.org.
Check that out today. Dr. Simpson, we've been telling your story, and if you're tuned in today and you haven't heard previous programs this week, you've missed out. To quickly summarize Dr. Simpson, he was raised in church playing music, playing guitar and other instruments. He was going to go to a party, though, so he wasn't living right. That's what I'm putting together here, piecing this together. You weren't living right.
Right.
You're thinking about going to party, had some blue suede shoes on.
Already.
And
get the boogie on.
and yet your car wouldn't start.
Yes.
So you crawled down on the ground, an extension cord was there. You put a screwdriver up in the engine to get it to spark. Next thing you know, your tongue's swelling up. You come out of your body, you're dead.
Yes.
It takes a minute for you to realize this, and when you say, I'm dead, down you go. And you land on a cliff. The spirit's chasing you around this cave. You're seeing all kinds of different things. I'm not going to talk about all that. We've talked about it already, but pick up the story from right here. You were seeing people saying, I'm too young to die, and then their face would just distort into the flames and different things. And you said yesterday as we were going off the air that it's as if that cliff or the ground in the cave started to just collapse, and you could see flames so bright that even if you closed your eyes, you could still see it.
Yes. That shadow that was following me was closing in on me. It was closing the gap. I think the hesitancy that I took to look at what was going on in the flames and listening to the people cry out and pausing to listen, to think about the profanity that was being said toward God. People got nerves to curse God out in hell, but God is not there. So it wasn't a problem because wherever God is, there's nothing to restrain you. And so I did not want to be where they were. So I ran the opposite way. Two ways I could have went. One around, took a long way around, which I can see more the direction I was going than the shorter direction, the one I took. But I didn't want to hear or see that anymore, so I wanted to get away from the debauchery that I was witnessing. And so I ran toward the darkness, which strangely wasn't dark, but it was darkness. And I'm running in that, and that thing is coming closer and closer to me. And I said, I'm going to run this way. And as soon as I got ready to run a particular direction, the ground just opened up. And that flame just lit up. And the human eyes could not stand the degree of brightness that I saw with those eyes. I can say that. I didn't understand that as a teenager, but as an adult, I understand the human eyes could not stand that level of brightness. So I ran the other way, and I kept running, and I kept running out of the room. And just when that spirit got so close to me, it can touch me, because I really didn't have nowhere else to go. I tried to run straight, before the ground cracked open. And as soon as I took off to run, the ground opened up, and I went down. And when I started falling, I screamed, I'm in hell. And I closed my eyes, waiting for that heat to become scorching heat. And I closed my eyes. And when I closed my eyes, it was like I didn't, because I can still see everything I saw with my eyes open. It was so bright. And I was going down and down. And suddenly a hand grabbed me. I had a big afro. The hand grabbed me by my afro.
Wow.
And it didn't hurt. And I was dangling. I was swinging. And nothing happened for a few seconds. I was just swinging there. And I said, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. And then a voice. The only way I can articulate this is there was a voice that seemed to speak in me and around me at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was a voice that was authoritative, that was loving, but judgmental. And it never mentioned the voice that came to me never mentioned my sin. Didn't mention it. It just said to me, because I knew who I was. He said, I have called you to preach. And when he said that, I have a cousin named Ronnie. And at the time, he's a pastor in Germany now, I think. And I said, he called me. I'm a guitar player. You know, it's strange how many thoughts can flood through your head at the same time. So I'm a guitar player. I'm a preacher.
Yeah.
And, that's bad for my reputation. So I didn't want to do that. And so
Wow.
He began to speak through me. And it was so, I didn't understand it then, but his voice gave me a peace in hell.
Wow.
And because there was hope. Everything that was missing was in this one voice. Purpose, hope, presence. And he said, I've called you. And he said, will you preach for me? And I'm thinking, he must think I'm Rodney, my cousin.
See, you thought God's got this messed up. You're talking to Rodney, but it's me.
I know who I am.
And he's holding you by your afro.
He got my afro over there.
And you're dangling over literally the pit of hell.
Yes. Jeremy, as God as my witness, I'm telling you, just as it happened.
Wow.
I'm dangling over the flames of hell with my eyes closed, and yet I'm looking at hell as if my eyes were open. I was preparing myself for eternity in hell. And let me tell you, there's no way to prepare yourself for that. The strange thing that I didn't think about is the moment he came, the heat went away.
Wow.
And so I'm comfortable over the flames of hell because he's with me.
At this moment.
At that moment, because he's with me. And then I became very uncomfortable when he said, I call you to preach. Because I know he didn't know who I was. I knew he don't know who I am, because he wouldn't be calling me, because I wouldn't call me to preach. People being danger with me, because I didn't have that kind of passion. I didn't have to, I grew up in a hard environment, so I had a different reality than most folks. And so I had to fight to live. So, I learned martial arts, did some everything. So life was a battle. So when you go to the club, like I was going, you got to carry some protection with you. You got to be ready. You can't sit by the door, your back to the door, all this. So I'm not the one you want to call to this God. I'm a banger, So no. See, because remember getting my face, say something. As a Lord, especially a man. I won't hit a woman. As a man, I might, Lord, I might have to, send some discipline. I said, God, I'm not the one. But then hell of preaching. Let me see about this. So I'm telling you, when he said that to me, I said, he got the wrong one. And I can tell you this. My greatest fear is he was going to pull me up and he was going to turn me around so he can see my face. And he was going to say, oops.
Oh, no.
And dunk me into the fire. Not let me go, just throw me in the fire, because that's where I belong. And so I was so afraid.
Man, this is serious business.
Yes. And I told him, I said, I didn't say it with my lips. I said it with my heart. I said, yes, Lord. You couldn't really talk in that place. You couldn't. I mean, it's so different. It's hard to explain. But I can think. I can think so clear. And I can speak with my mind as well as I could with my voice. And I spoke to him heart and mind to heart and mind. Because his mind was speaking to me, his heart. And I had to speak my heart back to him with my mind. And I did. And I told him, Lord, you know I love you. I will live like that. I said, yes, Lord, I would do it. I will preach everything I told folks I never do. I said, I do it. I was telling God I would do it. And none, he didn't say nothing else. I was being pulled out. I was being pulled out. And it got cooler and cooler as I was being lifted up. And I was placed right back on the cliff. And I looked, and the shadow thing had followed. But it was like in suspended animation. It couldn't come toward me. It's like something was keeping it from coming toward me. It got the same thing that happened in hell when he almost grabbed me. When the voice spoke, that thing got locked. It couldn't come toward me. It couldn't move anymore. And so, but he followed me outside. And I'm standing there. I'm looking at him. And those people still going, the whole different groups of people going there. And I'm thinking like, what do I do now? And I just said in my heart, and then I spoke out of my mouth. In that place, I couldn't speak, but like I want to. I can say I'm dead, I'm in hell, things of that way, but I couldn't have conversations. And so there on the cliff, I just began to say, thank you, Jesus. And suddenly it's like a light surrounded me. And I start floating up fast. And everything I saw going down, I saw coming up.
So the parts of the earth and the root systems.
Yes, everything.
And then you come up.
Yes. When I hovered over my body in the garage, and my mom didn't notice that the electric had went out or anything, so she sleep. And so it's still there, and you hear that sparking sound. And I'm looking at me, and suddenly I zoom back in my body through my feet. And I get up, and 3 hours done passed. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. It went from being 11 o'clock to 2, and it wasn't that long. It was, 3 hours done passed. It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
But it just felt like minutes to you.
It was like minutes.
Wow.
And 3 hours had passed.
Wow.
And I just said, Jesus, Jesus. And when I got from under the car, and my body was trembling because of the shock and everything. And I tried to say something, and my tongue was so thick. I could not say anything.
Wow.
And so.
And you're back in your body.
I'm back in my body.
All right, we're out of time, and I hate that, but we're going to pick up right here tomorrow. All right, so you're listening to the Accelerate Church broadcast. I'm Jeremy File, the pastor of Accelerate Church. And I've got my friend Dr. Lee A. Simpson here, pastor of Faith Clinic Christian Center right here in Amarillo. Yes. It's kind of cool, two pastors in the same city on the radio together.
Amen.
I think this is great.
It's great.
We're going to have to do this again.
Absolutely.
Preach the word together. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yes, indeed.
I'm publicly inviting you to come back. But we'll be back tomorrow to finish this story up.
All right.
And to talk to people about eternity. Tell everyone your website before we go.
faithclinicministries.org.
faithclinicministries.org. Check that out today, and be sure and tune in tomorrow for the Accelerate Church radio broadcast.
You've been listening to the Accelerate Church radio broadcast. And if you'd like a copy of this message for a loved one or for yourself, please give us a call so we can get a copy in your hand. Our phone number is 806-418-8913. We also invite you to download our app. Our Accelerate Church app is available on your Apple or Android device. If you're in the area and would like to stop by for a service, we would love to have you. We're located at 4400 South Crockett Street in Amarillo, Texas. And our service times are Sundays at 10 a.m. and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. We look forward to meeting you very soon.